レクイエム。
What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Sho back with another video. Now today we're talking about Cyberconnect 2 again. We made a couple of videos about Cyberconnect 2 and Bandai Namco and those lot. And this month is the month where they're supposed to release the new game. Well, not release, but announce, obviously. But who cares? You know, I don't know what kind of game it will be. I've made many speculations on the channel before. I talked about how it could be interesting to be a Bleach game. It could be. Could be Bleach game, because Bleach is coming back, and it would make sense. Maybe they're like animating the Thousand Blood arc thing, but it kind of doesn't make sense because at the same time, it's like they really like the trilogies, you know. They really like the big story sagas, and I feel like jumping into a story saga that's not initially the beginning of Bleach would be kind of a mistake. I don't know. What I'm trying to say is, okay, you know how they did with Kakarot, where Kakarot is like the self-contained story of Goku and every other player, because you play with other people more than you play with Goku in that game. But it's like a self-contained thing. You start from the beginning of Dragon Ball Z, and you know what I'm saying, get to like the parts where there's like the super movies. Like the Storm series, you start with basically characters, and you start with Storm 1, and even though Storm 1 follows the story a bit, you know, it's basically like, yeah, it follows the story, but it's like one self-contained story. It's the Naruto story, the show, just made inside of the game. Demon Slayer is the same way. It's this Demon Slayer story, but made inside of the game. I don't think that the next game that they announced will be another Demon Slayer sequel, because I think they would just came out and said that. At this point, when they get done with the Mist thing, which will be, I think, this year, the Mist Hashira, and I don't really want to get off track, but I guess it's always on track. It's all about anime games, anime and stuff. When they get done with that part of Demon Slayer, they'll have enough content to at least make another game. So that could be where the sequel is. I could see that being a trilogy, but I don't think that's what they, because I think it's a new game. Like, I don't think they're expanding the franchise. Now, it could be something with Boruto. Boruto is like kind of a mixed bag, because I did say that Boruto needed a game. I did make a video talking about how Boruto needed a game. And Cyberconnect 2 has done really well with the Storm franchise, but obviously they'll have to do something different maybe. Not necessarily, because if you make a Storm with like all of the newer characters, you have like the things like the tuning exams and stuff that gives them other abilities. They're not as flashy as like their parents, but you have a game with like Naruto, Sasuke, all of the new Genin and stuff from the village, Momoshiki, Ishiki, pretty much all of the newer characters from Boruto. You can actually make a very well thought out game, and that game could actually help Boruto out a lot, because if you make that game and you make it so that it covers some of the arcs that may be filler, just to get to know the characters, and then gets into like the Kawaki stuff and, you know, the Kara stuff, it could be interesting, because a lot of people use like the One Piece Power Warriors games to kind of understand a basic value of One Piece, so they can kind of skip ahead to some episodes that they might actually enjoy. Now, whether you like it or not, that's for them to decide. Me personally, I've always watched One Piece. I've always been a fan of One Piece. I've always been a fan of the Big Four, and any one of them getting a new game could be interesting, but I really want to see what they can do with newer IPs. Like, you know, even though a new One Piece game could be interesting, I talked about how it's time to let the Power Warriors franchise go. I like Power Warriors 4, but I don't know how much of Power Warriors I can take. I talked about how we may need a new Storm based around Boruto. I talked about how we could actually benefit from a Bleach game. But now thinking on it, it's like, okay, what arc of Bleach are they going to cover? If they're going to make like a series of games where they cover like Bleach 1 to like the Soul Society arc, that'd be interesting. That'd be cool. I wouldn't mind that at all, honestly. But the thing is, even though these companies have made so many of these games, I don't feel like it's going to be a sequel. I don't feel like it's going to be Kakarot 2. That would be cool. I want to see what they do with that. But that'd be cool. But I just don't think, I think this is it, honestly. I think this is it for the Big Four as far as like the Cyberconnect 2. I don't think there's going to be a new Cyberconnect 2 game that's focused around like the Big Four. There are a lot of franchises right now that are very high. Jujutsu Kaisen is a very high franchise. I can see that honestly having a game. Because I'm going to be honest, the franchise is just exploded. It's blowing up. Maybe we'll get an actual good My Hero game. I I feel like the franchise of My Hero is in such a weird place. People really hate this franchise. They really hate it a lot. And I can kind of understand at some points because some of the fans are very, very like rabid dogs. Me personally, I'm a fan of MHA, but I can totally understand why people found it cliche. Now, here's the game I want to come out. I would love a Black Clover game. The Quartet Knights was okay. It felt like more of an indie game, but it was still fun. Like, it just didn't have anybody on the servers because nobody plays it, you know, so that kind of cut it down a little bit for me. I would actually love a Black Clover game. I can't really say in the style of anything, really. I firmly believe that any game in the world should have a Kakarot game. Yeah, every game in the world should have a game that's like Kakarot, a JRPG that's followed around like the story of the main character. But now, honestly, I'm just gonna let them do them. You know, they're the ones that come up with the good prospects. They're the ones that come up with the good games. I really would love to see Black Clover doing something because the franchise is on fire. The manga's on fire. The anime is on fire at the moment. You know, it's currently stopped, so it's not really on fire. It's ice cold, but I understand, you know, where they're going. They're supposed to be bringing the manga back. I mean, not the manga, the anime back, and it's supposed to be a movie and everything. I do think the beginning of Black Clover is a little bit weak, but it's one of the shows that continue to get better. Maybe we'll get some Gintama stuff, man. Gintama's my favorite anime, but I've never been able to play the Gintama game. I don't think the Gintama Rumble is on the PS5 store. That's why I still can't get it. I don't have the disc drive PS4, PS5, so I can actually play it, but I would love to see like maybe something done with that. But I think since the franchise is over now, we might not see any more games for that, at least for a while. With that being said, guys, that's pretty much all I got to say about Cyberconnect 2. Let me know if you guys think it may be a Big 4 title. Like, you think it's gonna be a sequel? You think it's gonna be a Big 4 title? You think it's gonna be both? You think it's gonna be a new IP? Which I think it's gonna be a new IP. And if you do think it's gonna be a new IP, what franchise would you love to see getting a game by the great Cyberconnect? Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys next video.